Kashmir police source. They've been able to tell CNN News 18 more details. Now, while operations are still underway in the encounter in Anantnag, it's indicating an attempt to promote terrorism and disturb the peace in not just Jammu or Kashmir alone, but in the whole region. Beyond this, what sources also told CNN News 18 is that attacks and activities in the south of Panjal and in areas of Pooch and Rajouri, they were considered as a change in plan. This is also because of the presence of security forces in Kashmir and a number of hurdles when it comes to infiltration. Now, this is information which is coming in, which is being brought to CNN News 18 by a J&K police official. To get us more on this, we're crossing over to CNN News 18's Akash Sharma, who's joining us live. Akash, over to you.
So Aisha, with this particular piece of information that we have got from our defense sources, one thing that I want to highlight, even Ishan was mentioning about it. When we talk about, a peace in Jammu and Kashmir and, these terror activities, so in the past few months, we have seen that how attacks were carried out in Poonch area specifically and, recently Kulgam attack. We know that how initially, army categorically said that they received an input on the basis of which, they launched an operation. And after 10 days of that particular, attack, one video was released by these terror groups in which they were somewhere trying to counter, army's version by saying that it was not army, but this group which initiated the action. We have seen in the past that how in the South Pir Panjal range, where we have areas like Rajouri and Poonch, Romeo Force is actively neutralizing these terrorists, and in fact 11 is the number that in the last few months they have neutralized 11 terrorists. Also, Aisha, a ceasefire understanding is very critical in this, because whenever we talk about infiltration, what used to happen before this CFU, that Pakistani forces used to give cover fire and infiltrators used to infiltrate in the Indian boundaries, Indian territories. But now what has happened, we have ceasefire understanding and infiltration attempts have gone down. But this doesn't mean that infiltration has stopped. In fact, yesterday it was categorically mentioned by General Officer Commanding in Chief of Northern Command that how foreign terrorists are now coming from via Nepal route and via Punjab route as well. We have international borders with Pakistan, and there too we have attempts of infiltration. Yes, these attempts are very low in number, but it has not stopped. Again, talking about AIOS system, so we have this advanced system where, which is in fact helping security forces controlling this infiltration. But again, this is a big challenge, and this particular input will be investigated, because to the best of our knowledge and also what sources are telling us, that this was a human input, where it was a specific input that terrorists are present in this particular area. When a colonel who is the commanding officer who has lost his life, and also one major and a police officer went on to this particular input and went in the particular area, fire was opened. And in fact, we were not there on the spot, but there are several theories that are coming out. Yes, definitely we are waiting for the version of Indian Army, but as of now, it is somewhere an attempt. And in fact, I want to mention this categorically that, Pakistan supported a terror organization and the shadow organization of these groups have taken the responsibility, and not just responsibility, but they are actually congratulating each other on this particular attack. Yes, operation is still underway, such operation is still on, and we have our colleague Ishan Mani reporting live from ground zero. But as of now, everyone is waiting for the outcome of this particular operation, and not just outcome, but an official statement from Indian Army as well.
Absolutely, and details will continue to emerge on this. But Akash, one thing I also want to ask you about is that we just received an update about how 2 Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists have been encircled. That includes an individual named Uzair Khan. Can you tell us more about the presence of that terror outfit in the valley?
You see, when we talk about Lashkar-e-Toiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, so both of these groups are active. Yes. In Kashmir, we haven't seen, attacks like such what we have seen yesterday. And in fact, fatal casualty of a commanding officer is not very common, or officers of not very common. We have not seen attacks like such what we saw yesterday, the encounter, the kind of casualty that we have received. So anger is there in the, in the mind of a number of people who are living here in the country. But again, when we talk about the presence of these terrorists, so yes, there is a presence of terrorists from Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Toiba. In fact, there are shadow organizations that have been created, and these organizations are very active on several social media apps on which, they are claiming not just the responsibility, but even, in fact, congratulating each other.
All right, Akash, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us those details. On that note, we have some more breaking news coming in right now.